Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at purposely.com.
At one point, she was homeless and couch surfing with a special needs daughter. Her victory story is one that inspires me because God is woven all the way through it. Shannon Watson, where did it all start?
My daughter was born in 2005. She was actually born with intellectual disability. She had sensory integration disorder. She had a learning disability, and she also had a speech impediment.
That is so much for a new mom. And you had other things going on as well?
When she was about 1, I hurt my back at work, and I ended up having to go on a bunch of pain medication. Everything just kept getting worse and worse with my pain, and it got to the point of where I couldn't even get up off my bed. When she was about 3, it got to the point of where I had to have that back surgery, and then after the back surgery, I still had to have pain medication. So I ended up pretty addicted to it, and if I would run out of it, then I would turn to alcohol.
I totally get that. What happened?
My parents came and had to come and get her. They knew that something was going on, but they couldn't figure out quite yet what. They showed up at my door and said, "We're going to take Tori for you right now until you can figure things out. We want you to go into treatment." I came out of treatment and tried to build up my sobriety by going to meetings, getting some support around me, trying to stay clean and sober. But I knew soon I would be taking Tori back, and I knew I had to get a job, and I knew I had to get her to 3 appointments a week, do all this stuff that was coming, and I just couldn't stay clean and sober. I kept relapsing, basically.
Yeah.
By 2011, my parents would want to give Tori back. And by that time, Elle and I had quit paying me, and I ended up homeless.
So you're homeless with your sweet girl. That must have been so scary.
It was pretty rough. I was couch surfing. I had rented a room for a while. A lot of people don't understand disabilities. They don't get sensory issues. So it was kind of hard having her with me and staying with people that didn't understand what was going on with her, too.
What do you think it's like to have sensory issues? What does it feel like for her?
I would give anything to be able to be in her body for one day and just feel what it's like. And when she was younger, it was a lot harder because she used to have meltdowns just from all the sensory intake coming in all day long and stuff. She's gotten better now. It's only in big crowds or if there's a lot of noise.
How has that experience changed you?
When I am out and about now, I really pay attention to things that are going on with other children and judgment.
Yeah.
You never know what someone is going through.
So you're couch surfing, homeless, basically, with Tori, and then what happened?
I went to a meeting one day, and someone said, "Hey, why don't you check out Vision House?" I checked into Vision House, which is a transitional housing program that helps break the cycle for homelessness for families and children. And I finally got into their program. All the support I needed around me to help me with Tori because she needed 24-hour care. And that was one of the reasons why I had such a rough go. I just couldn't spread myself thin enough.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why staying clean and sober was really hard for me, too, was I just felt like I couldn't get her to her appointments. I couldn't get a job. I couldn't, with her needing 24-hour care. How do you do that? And it was just a big struggle for me.
So once you got into Vision House, what was it like?
All of that totally changed. Tori was about 8 by then. She was way behind on her talking. She was very shy. She couldn't even barely say sentences. She was still actually in diapers at the time. And they had a daycare there at Vision House that they set her up in so I could go back to school in early childhood education. I was still going to 3 meetings a week to make sure I could stay clean and sober. But their family services program and their family advocates that work with the kids and my counselor, I'd do counseling once a week. We'd do classes on parenting. all this support that I never had, that I needed. Someone just kind of to walk alongside me and be there while I was going through what I was going through and helping me out.
That made such a huge difference.
I got my associate degree in early childhood education and graduated, which was amazing.
Wow.
For me, anyway.
Yay. It's wonderful.
Yes, it was. It was absolutely amazing. It was a huge accomplishment for me.
What happens next?
They helped us move into housing. We got, low-income housing and moved out. And then I wanted to go back and I wanted to volunteer for them because of everything they did for me.
Yeah.
And a position opened up. Now, mind you, with Tori, I hadn't worked since she was a year old because of having to care for her and all the stuff that I went through, too, on top of it. It was 40 hours a week, and I was a little bit hesitant because I hadn't worked 40 hours a week for a long time. By now, Tori is 17, 18 years old, and she is now able to stay at home for a little while by herself. So I decided, okay, I'll take a chance, and we'll try this 40-hour-week job. Started working there, and I worked there for about 3.5 years. They also had a job opening in the Family Services program. It was really funny because when I moved in, I'll never forget the first day I moved into Vision House when I walked into the apartment and saw it totally furnished and Tori's bed made, and she had a baby doll on her bed. I had dishes. I had everything I needed. I didn't have to bring anything with me, and it was gorgeous. Everything was brand new, our bedspread. So now in this Family Services program job that I applied for and got, I actually am putting together the apartments and getting the apartments ready for other residents that are going to be coming into the program.
I just got chills when you said that. That's so beautiful.
Yes, it's like a whole circle. And, it was really funny, too, because I couldn't figure out in the beginning why I kept relapsing, and I felt like there was this hole that I just couldn't fill, and I didn't know what it was. And when I got into Vision House, they had Bible study that you could go to. If they would have forced me to go, I would have never went. But they didn't. They gave me the option to go. And once I started going to Bible study, I ended up finding a church for Tori and I realized that is what was missing that whole time was Jesus.
What was the difference as a special needs single mom before Jesus and then after you knew that he was with you, for you?
I always felt, and I know that any special needs parent would feel this way, but you always feel alone. You always feel like you're the only one in the world doing this when it's happening. And after I asked Jesus back into my heart and started going to church, that feeling went away. I remember the very first time I went to church with my girlfriend and her dad, and I'll never forget. Pretty awesome experience of asking God back into my heart, crying the whole time, and people praying above me, and it was an amazing experience.
Why do you think God trusted you to be Tori's mom?
God put her in my life for me to stay clean and sober. I am so thankful for that. She is such an amazing girl. She's always happy. She loves everybody. She brightens the room right when you walk into it. If you meet her once, she'll never forget you, and she will run and hug you when she sees you. She's just amazing. Yeah, she's an amazing girl. But I know God put her in my life for a reason, and it was to get me clean and sober and keep me clean and sober.
What would you say to someone who is just starting out and they're beginning a journey with a child with special needs and they're maybe feeling the way you felt, scared and unsupported? What would you tell them?
I wish I would have built my village when Tori was younger, but of course I had all these other things going on in my life. But I would say to parents, reach out, do your best to open up to other families, get to know them, become friends, support each other, get to know their children, help them out with their children, become a support system for each other. That's what all of us special needs parents need to do.
Where do you meet special needs families?
With my daughter, I started her in Special Olympics, and I'll tell you, that was the best thing for me to do when it came to meeting other parents and learning got my own support system basically through Special Olympics. So I'd say check into different things that you can get the kids into, that you will meet other parents that have children like you do.
As a special needs parent, do you like it when people come up to you and talk with you about your daughter and what she has going on? Or does that feel awkward and inappropriate?
I think it's a good thing. I think with the struggle that I had when she was younger, I would have loved for people to come up and say, hey, what's going on with her? Can you tell me about her disabilities? I'm pretty open. And I don't mind anyone coming up to me and asking if I need help, because I always need help. It doesn't matter. I'm always going to need help. In the beginning, that support would have meant a lot to me.
Can you talk some more about the isolation and the way you felt in the beginning?
That alone feeling is one of the worst feelings. And I think that a lot of special needs parents deal with that. I've had to do a lot of counseling to help me with certain things, and that's one of the things that I did a lot of counseling with. But then God helped me with that too.
I love in the Bible where it says God puts the lonely in families. Sometimes when you're a special needs family, your family becomes this team of people and friends around you who help you actually go forward. What is life like now for you and for Tori?
So Tori's 19 now. She's absolutely doing amazing. She's in a transitional program to learn how to find a job. She will be getting a job coach soon that will help her with her job. She gets up and goes to school like she's going to school Monday through Friday, and she absolutely loves it. She is a child that loves school. She wants to go to school every day. She doesn't do well when she's sick and has to stay home. She absolutely loves school.
I love it. How long is she going to be in the transitional program?
She will be doing that till she's 22, and then hopefully be on her own, and she will have a job by then with a job coach. And then I go to work daily. She is independent enough now to be home for an hour or so. I do have cameras in the house and check in on her. And we do year-round sports through Special Olympics.
It's so encouraging for me as a special needs mom myself to hear how Tori is doing, how you're doing, what God is doing. What do you wish would have been there in the very beginning, just so that people can know how they could make a difference?
If I would have had another single mom even that had a child with a disability that I could have became friends with and helped support, just having, being able to support each other would have been such a huge deal for me.
I love your courage. I love how strong you are. You are a fierce mama.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long road coming, but, now I'm feeling like I'm kind of on the other side and being able to trust in God and have faith. We found a good church, and Tori absolutely loves church. I mean, she will not let me go a Sunday without going. We wake up every Sunday. Okay, Mom, we're going to church.
Time for church.
I'm like, yes, we're going to church. Yeah.
Yes,
fun.
we are.
We need more love in this lifetime. Special needs children are pure love, and that's what they show us.
Thank you so much for being here for the Unexpected Adventure. Hope, help, and healing for families with special needs. If you like this, pass it on to a friend or leave a review. And check out other cool content on purposely.com. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time for the Unexpected Adventure.
Thanks for listening. We just wanted to take a minute to let you know that just like you and your family, Purposely is also part of a family, the Krista Family of Ministries. Krista helps kids and teens learn and grow in their faith at King Schools and Miracle Ranch Camp. And Krista shares Jesus with people in the poorest, most remote places through World Concern. Krista Senior Living is a community of love and care, and Krista Media is a place of hope on the radio. God is changing lives through these 5 ministries, and Krista is on mission to share the good news of Jesus. To learn more, visit Krista.org.